wanted to take this time to explain one of the main concepts in my book, The Porn Antidote, which is the three brains. I know that sounds funny. We have one brain, but if you think about it, operating in three parts that work together helps understand and explain a lot of what we do and why we do it, especially pornography. So today we're going to think about having the three brains. That's your thinking brain, your feeling brain, and your body brain, and they work together. They're all connected. To use a good model, Dr. Daniel Siegel came up with a great idea, which is using your hand. So take your thumb, put it in, wrap your fingers around it. This is a great model for your brain. The fingers coming over the top, this is your thinking brain. This is your frontal cortex. The thinking brain, right there, this is where we process cause and effect. If I put my hand on a stove, it's going to get burned. So I think through that and I'll adjust accordingly. The more I learn, the more I can use that. Then there's also that part of the brain is where we process goals, morals, values, meaning I want to go get a college degree, I want my marriage to work, I have these morals, I may get mad at somebody in traffic for going slow in the left-hand lane, which is not good. But my morals kick in and say, no, I'm not going to run them off the road. This is not a wise thing to do. This thinking part of my brain helps me control that impulse and slow that down. Again, values, what I value. This helps me act in line with my goals, morals, and values, while also learning from cause and effect. This part of my brain also allows me to learn from past experience. That means, again, if I burn my hand by touching the stove before, I learn not to do that again. I learn not to make that same mistake again. This part of the brain works really well when we're calm. When we're calm, when life feels good, I can reflect, I can think through, I can plan through, I can resist impulses. So again, the calm is a big piece of that. This is actually the last part of our brain to process information. The very last part to process information. It is not fully developed until age 25. So that's why your car insurance drops when you're 25. That's why more of the infantrymen in the military are below the age of 25, because they're not thinking through as much of this. Then there is the feeling brain. The feeling brain, this is your thumb. In this model, this is your thumb on the inside. This is kind of the driver. The feeling brain is always evaluating safety or threat. Am I safe physically, but also emotionally, relationally? It treats those the same way. In fact, if you come at me with a knife, or if you hold a gun to my head, and my wife said she might leave me, my brain treats that the same way. My feeling brain will react the exact same way with that. It processes information before the thinking brain. The reason is, if there's a snake coming at me, I don't need to stop and consider, is that a rattlesnake? Is it a bad idea? No, I need to react before I can think and process and go through it. That's why it overrides the thinking brain. It will take over. It shuts it down and it will act in the current moment of what it thinks is most important. When that happens, I'm in some level of fight, flight, or freeze. Those are our immediate reactions, our innate reactions when we're feeling a threat. Now, we can still think our way through some of these, but there are times when the feeling brain will take over. Now, so we have the thinking brain, the feeling brain. Then we have your third brain, last but not least, the body brain. The body brain, this is your brainstem, this is your wrist in that model. The body brain is responsible for all of your bodily functions. This is your heart rate, your blood pressure, hormones, and so it's fully functioning at birth, but it mobilizes the body to deal with a threat. If there's a snake coming at me, it will give me the adrenaline that I need to either attack or run away, or help me realize if I need to just freeze. And so these two parts of the brain, the feeling brain and the body brain, really work well together. There's a lot of connectors going from the feeling brain to the body brain, and a lot of connectors going from the body brain to the emotional brain. So these things really work in concert really well together. This says danger, this says we'll get you out of danger. The problem here is the feeling brain to the thinking brain, there are a lot of connectors going from feeling brain to thinking brain. There's not that many connectors going from thinking brain back to feeling brain. That's why it's hard to think your way out of it. So that's why one of the best things we can do when we're feeling overwhelmed is deal with emotions, relationships. It calms this part of the brain down. In fact, simply by attachment, the idea in the book, so attachment is the antidote. By connecting with Christ and others, the brain releases this great chemical called oxytocin. It's a natural opiate. It's like Xanax. And so when we do that connecting, not even problem solving, connecting, having a hard day, is really scared, really hurts, or really excited. When we do that and we connect with somebody, God designed the brain to regulate to where it releases oxytocin, the brain calms down. The brain calms down, we make really good choices. So I hope this is helpful to you. I'll be talking more about how this applies with porn, because porn hijacks this part of the brain. It lights this part up. That's why you don't think about cause and effect, what happened in the past. So that'll be in future videos. Please come back and stay tuned.